It's like this. Well, there's two types of quadratics on the screen. So there's anything with an x squared, first of all, is a quadratic. However, if they have something in common, then it's only going to be one bracket. So for example, these have x in common. So because they have something in common, we just factorize it to get one bracket. However, these three have nothing in common. So for example, these two have an x, but this one doesn't. Therefore, there's nothing that all of them have in common. These two have an x, but this one doesn't, and so forth. So first of all, when they have something in common, so this first type up here, whatever they have in common, in this case x, you put on the outside of a bracket. And then what do you times by x to get 8x squared? Well, you times it by 8x. And what do you times by x to get 5x? Well, you times it by 5, right? So that's how you factorize the top one. However, the last three are a little bit different. So let's write this down. So something in common means you just have one bracket. But something where there's nothing in common means you have two brackets. So this one here, there's nothing in common at all. So we're going to use what we call the AM method. So we're going to find two numbers that add to 7 but multiply to 10. Always start off with multiply. So numbers that multiply to 10 are 2 and 5. 2 and 5 also add up to 7. So then our brackets straight away is just x plus 2 and then x plus 5. So that's all you have to do to factorize it. For the next one, they once again have nothing in common. So we know it's going to be two brackets straight away. Two numbers that add to 8 and multiply to 15 would be 3 and 5. So you get x plus 3 and x plus 5. Okay, right, so let's just, before we do the last one, let's recap what we just did. So if we have x squared, let's say 5x squared plus 15x, and we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, so two types of question. Let's go through them. We're looking to factorize each one. So 5x squared plus 15x, they have something in common. They both have x, and they're both multiples of 5. So because they have x, and they have 5 in common, 5x goes on the outside. We times 5x by x to give us 5x squared, and we times 5x by 3 to give us 15x. Something in common means they just had one bracket. However, over here, there's nothing in common at all. So we know it's going to be two brackets. So because it's two brackets, we need two numbers that add to 5, multiply to 6. If we start off over here, 1 times 6 is 6, but 1 add 6 is not 5. 2 times 3 is 6, 2 add 3 is 5. So our brackets are x add 2 and x add 3. Okay, so what do we do for the last one when it's a minus? Well, when it's a minus, you stick to your method. Do they have anything in common? Well, yeah, we've got an x and an x, but this one doesn't have an x. So there's nothing in common. So it's going to be two brackets, meaning we need to do adds to 1. Remember, when it's just x, that technically means 1x. So adds to 1, multiplies to minus 6. So what multiplies to minus 6? Well, you have minus 2 times 3. 2 times minus 3. Let's try these pairs first of all. 2 add minus 3 gives us minus 1. But we want positive 1. Let's try this pair. Minus 2 add 3 does in fact give us positive 1. And minus 2 times 3 does in fact give us minus 6. So this time our brackets are x minus 2 and x plus 3. And that is how you factorize quadratics. In a future video, probably tomorrow or the day after, we're going to look at solving quadratics, so when it's equal to 0. So stay tuned for that video as well, and I'll see you in the next one.